What do when you love food, but your baby just won't eat anything you're offering him off the shelf? Faced with this situation, Toyin Onigbanjo built a food processing business. She went into the local markets, bought local ingredients, created delicious recipes, and introduced her baby to nutritious homemade meals. She also built an online community for parents facing the same challenge and began sharing tips and recipes with them. In this episode of Seed Diaries, Toyin shares her August Secrets entrepreneurial journey with us. She shares how you can truly turn a problem into an opportunity and make money while you're at it.
The fact that you know how to cook doesn't mean you should start to run a restaurant.
We're right here. We believe in the community. We're right here. We believe in the community.
Hello everyone, my name is Wamaka Okoye. Welcome to another edition of the Seed Diaries. Before we continue, I'd like to remind you to like, share, and subscribe. Today we have a special guest with us, Toyin Onigbanjo. She is the founder and CEO of August Secrets Limited. Hello Toyin, we're so glad to have you here today.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here too.
Great. I'm looking forward to a great conversation with you as we talk about August Secrets. So let's start with that. Can you tell me what August Secrets is? Who does it cater to? And what does it produce?
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Toyin Onigbanjo. At August Secrets, what we do is raise healthier children by providing health-conscious parents, alternative foods to help them raise their children in the first 1,000 days. So everybody knows the different kinds of food that they give to their children, but some parents are looking for specific kinds of foods, specific kinds of resources like meal plans to help them raise healthier children and to help them with other dietary needs. So that's where August Secrets Limited, that's where we stand. And what we do is we have various kinds of cereals, snacks, meal plans, and resources available for parents and caregivers for their children. So that's what August Secrets is about.
That's, well, it's a bit atypical in terms of food businesses for Nigeria. Was there a need you were trying to meet? Was it out of necessity? Because I know that you have the popular ones, Nigerians. Well, I don't know what Nigerians use now. Why did you go into this particular line?
Okay. It's been such an interesting journey with August Secrets. And I didn't set out to do this, to be honest. So I started out of necessity, and it was simply out of finding food for my son. So I've always been the foodie in the house. So, and then when I had my son, as usual, we bought different kinds of food. As a matter of fact, my husband was very, particular about some kinds, but I noticed that he was really gone in for anyone that organic foods that, this one is very good, that is very good. And then he bought all of them. And then we returned to Nigeria. And when he turned 6 months, we started to give him, he refused. Like, what's going on here? Are you going to waste 3 suitcases full of food? And then the truth is we had to give them out because it wasn't making sense anymore, just opening them and then throwing them in the bin. That's like 1 full suitcase gone. So and he had to eat because I needed to resume, and after exclusive breastfeeding he needed to eat something. Trust me, he didn't take any food on the shelf. So, and then the frustration, I just said, you know what, this is carrot and potatoes, foreign food imported. He won't eat them. Why can't I go to the market and just make the same carrot and potatoes for this boy? And then that was how the entire journey started. I started to give it to him. Everything I made homemade, he took everything. And he's almost 10 now. He took only homemade food. So when I started to share the journey, I would share on my BlackBerry back then. I would share on Facebook. Oh, today we ate carrots and potatoes. Tomorrow we're taking rice and apple sauce. And then some mother started to then open up to me and say, look, I have a child like yours in this house. Can you please send me some of this? And then I started sending free samples to mothers. Okay, try this, try that. And I was like, okay, so what about children like this? Who is going to cater to them? And that was how August Secret started. All natural food for children, who don't want to eat their regular cereals, or for children who want to grow on special diets. That's what August Secret is about. And that was how we started.
Well, so from necessity, you built a business.
Yes.
Trying to cater to your own children, and you found something that worked, and then found other people reached out to you because they also had the same need.
Yes.
At that time, what were you doing when you were making these homemade foods for your children?
Okay, so I started my career taking tutoring classes for students preparing for high school and for uni. And then I then went on to communication. So I was a journalist at the time. I was started as a freelancer, and then I was a correspondent at the time when I was trying this out. So I was to resume like a normal mom after 6 months maternity leave, and then I realized that I resumed as a mom who had spent all our maternity leave trying to make homemade food. But it was interesting. It was an interesting journey. So I was a journalist and a correspondent.
Interesting.
So at what point did you decide or realize that this thing is business and maybe I should go full gear into this as a business?
Okay, so it was at the point where we started to get overwhelmed by the demand. I would say the demand actually gave birth to, was quite inspiring for me. When we started, people were asking, some would ask for the recipes, and then we put together the recipes in a meal plan, and then we sold that on the side, and then some will ask for the food. I remember then it was one of the things that inspired me were moms who would come and say, Toyin, say, look, you're a lifesaver. Just make this thing that you have shared, just make it and bring it to me, because I'm really losing it right now. So today, like 2 moms will call me that they're losing it. Tomorrow, 3, 5, 10. And then I realized that I was spending my entire time, tending to them, tending to their needs. But what made me happy was I was meeting a need. So the decision I made in my mind was, no, I'm not going to leave my job until I set a particular I set a milestone for it, because it's one thing to meet people's needs. It's another. The fact that you know how to cook doesn't mean you should start to run a restaurant. So that was a milestone I set for myself to say, you know what, until this is viable, until we're able to hire people and not all salaries, still on this issue, then I know that indeed it's a business. So I was happy to meet the needs, but the time I decided it was going to be a business was when we registered our NAFDAC for the product, and then NAFDAC accepted it, came to the location to check the neatness, the hygiene, everything. I was like, okay, this is really looking good. And the demand, I would say, was quite inspiring. I'll say that was how it all started.
How long was this from the time you started doing it for people, almost like a hobby, till the time you went full-fledged, into a full-fledged business?
Okay. So I started sharing the recipes, all of those things in 2016, early 2016. Although I started from 2014, late 2014, and then into the entire 2015. And in 2016, we registered the business. But even when we registered, it was still just, let's just register it. Just so tomorrow someone can say, okay, come and supply children's food. We just registered it, So I would say 2014 when I had my son, and into 2016 we registered as a business, and then 2017 was when we started actual business. So I would say 2014, 2015, and 2016 we were just still testing the waters. But 2017 we then said, you know what, let's just begin. But that was not when I resigned though.
When did you resign?
So I resigned fully in 2018.
Oh, wow.
Late 2018, yeah.
By then, the business had really grown.
Yeah, so we're about a year or going to 2 years. I had to courageously resign to say, as long as, and the motto that I had in my mind was, as long as I'm meeting a need, I will never be hungry. So that was when I just said, you know
And
what?
the babies would not be hungry either.
Exactly. So that was the point where I said, you know what, we would keep meeting these needs, we would not be hungry. Yes.
So what age range, for your products? What products do you have and what age range does it cater to?
Okay, so currently we cater to from 6 months after the baby's after exclusive breastfeeding, when the baby is ready to start taking solids, up to 3 years. That is our current product. But in the nearest future, in the next few weeks, months, because our goal is to raise healthier children, so we're going to be having products from newborn up to 99 years. As a matter of fact, now we tell our products, even older people can take the products currently. So we want to, the end to end.
You're working on expanding your product line.
Yes, that's what we're doing now.
So when you started the business fully, what surprised you?
Positive or negative? Okay.
Either. Or both.
What surprised me, or let me say what has surprised me so far, positively, is when people see that you're committed to a cause, you will get support. So positively, what has surprised me the most is the level of support that we have gotten. I'm not gonna lie. It's been amazing. So like when we make mistakes, when we cry out, customers will say, you know what, this is really wrong. You guys are not doing it right. But because you just started, let me just help you do this. Let me just assist in this. It's been amazing. But then on the other side, it's been the weight of the challenges, especially in manufacturing in Nigeria. I'm not going to advise. I always say something often on my social media. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Manufacturing, huh?
Don't do it.
Why? What are the challenges?
Okay, so for me, pivoting from journalism and communications into manufacturing, I'm not going to lie, has been courageous for me, but then again has been the biggest challenge. So going from you're making products for 20 children, you have, let's say, 20 cartons. You can do that from your house, where I started from, by the way. And then you are at the factory. And then you need to get XYZ equipment. You need to get funding. You need to be sure how, if you get this equipment, the output is going to give to you. Okay, the outputs where it's imported from, then you get here, you have no idea. You bring in consultants, the electrical engineer is saying something different from it's crazy, and for me, it's the hardest part, the part that I don't like. I just want to be in the kitchen making food for the babies, but now I find myself in the factory. So it's not like I didn't expect it. I expected it, but maybe another thing that then surprised me is how I've not crumbled. We're still here. Yes, we're still here.
So you're not excited about operations?
No, I am not excited about it. I have a saying, it is not every part of your success that you would like. So I've taken it as a cross that I'm a manufacturer. Yes, so like I said, I moved from the kitchen to manufacturing. So that part of that growth, I don't like it. I don't like being in the factory, but I have to be there. Yes, so I have to be there to ensure that things are going well, and then we need to create a structure that ensures that it doesn't have to be me all the time. I don't have to be the one to put on the meter. I don't have to be the one to do this. I used to do it, but then I can't do it alone at scale. So definitely the point where I had to step a bit away from it and then have like 10, 20 of us doing it now, that's the hardest part.
Is it the stepping away?
Okay, so I'm not completely away. I'm not completely away, but I'm not an engineer. That's what I say. So I can only just wish them well from afar. The engineer will have to be the one to sort the equipment out, but we have to be there to ensure that, everything comes to balance. Yes, because it's an entire thing. From operations is not only just about operating the machinery, it's ensuring it gets to distribution. Distribution then is done right before it gets to the final consumer.
I guess the prototyping, the designing of the menu, that's the product development. And then distribution. How are you able to sort out distribution? Because I'm aware that it's a challenge in Nigeria. I mean, there are a lot of challenges in the supply chain, but distribution for something that is a consumer good, how do you deal with that?
Okay, so our strategy and how we've done so far is we started small, and then we tried out various skills because we're limited. Especially at the beginning, we had limited resources. We didn't have all the vehicles to do all of that and the structure. So what we did was we leveraged on our customers, and then we have this women community. So you're in Bagada, you're my customer in Bagada. You are then going to be our agents in Bagada, and the exciting thing is that our customers were excited to do that. So if you're in Bagada and then you can give me 3 outlets in Bagada, or you can be the point of sale in Bagada, I'm sure that all the customers from around there, Anthony, Maryland, can access you. If you're in Port Harcourt, you're there. I know that all the customers around there can access the product. So that was how we're able to leverage. We use more like agents, drop shippers. People are happy to take it. Someone say, you know what, I don't have capital to start, but I have a network of people who can buy. So those were the ways in which we're able to leverage. But today we have large retailers as our customers, and they're happy to retail Jadines.
So you co-opted your customers to distribute. Well, that's very gutsy.
Interesting, yes, but it is, yes, it is actually the truth. Because I remember when we got our first vehicle back then, about 2, we started with 2, and then distribution, take products to Abuja, to Port Harcourt and all that, but we had to grow through it. We had to grow through it. And then we also then have partners now. We have distributors, we have wholesalers who are happy to take the products from our factory. But the truth is, when we talk about these things, we need to be real. That was not how we started. That was not how we started. Nobody came only very few people came to our house to pick up products. I remember then I used to go meet them up at the gate, at the, estate gate or by the road to give them the products. So, but then the people can't come to our house to take. They can't come to there was no factory for them to come to. They used to come to my house, but now people bring in their buses and their vehicles to come to our factory to pick up products to take to their retailers.
That's a lot of growth.
Indeed, yes, we thank God.
How many states is your product in?
Currently, we operate from 5 states, but the product itself is in up to about 10, 20 states right now. Wow. So we have sub-distributors, retailers who pick up. So for instance, we have a hub in Port Harcourt, and then we have people from as far as Bayelsa, Ebonyi who pick up from there. So it's really, really limited. It's really gone wide, but we operate majorly from 5 states, and then we redistribute.
And that's, you talked about Jadines. What's the full brand?
So Jadines Meals. Jadines is the product.
Meals.
Yes.
Okay.
The names are kind of interesting. August Secrets. Mm-hmm. Tell me, how did you come up with that name, or why did you select that name? Is there a secret behind it?
Yes, indeed, there is a secret in every of those meals. That's why the children can't say no to them. So the August secrets came from August is I see August as a month of honor, and then the secret is the I wouldn't say let me just say the secrets. That's the way to say. So there's a way we combine the recipes, which is what our creativity is top notch at August Secret. We've had so many children. Oh, they are not eating this. We'll show you how they are going to eat it. So that is the secret in it. So some people say, okay, so what about September secrets? So then, but it's what it is. August Secrets is the name, and that was how it came about. We believe strongly that there is no child that would not love, what we make, what we produce, because we can tell you 1,001 ways to make that same cereal in a way that the child will love it. So that was how the name came about.
Well, you must love to cook. Do you like playing with children and like what or is the food that you like?
So both. I used to run this club, Treasures Kiddies, in around where I used to stay when I was still single. I'm hoping to go back to it now, and
Back to being single?
no. Back to back to treasures kiddies. So, and it started when I just get upset when kids are, hungry, in pain. I know definitely it's tied to my purpose personally as a human. And I always say that I'm going to have a home for kids in the nearest future. I'm going to adopt more than my children in the nearest future. No thanks to the economy anyway. I probably would have adopted more now, but we are, personally, that's what I really love. So I love children. I don't like children being hungry. Then I remember when we started, children would just come to my place. I'll teach them every Saturday. We used to meet every Friday and Saturday, and then we'll do look through their homework together. But there was this community where some of them came from, and then they'll be hungry. I realized I had to start giving food. I had to start giving them food, and I realized truly some of them were actually hungry because you could see from the way they looked that they were hungry. So I've always been passionate about children, and everybody knows me as Auntie Toyin. Yes. So when my child wasn't eating, I felt like, where are you from? Where? No. We have to do something, because how can Auntie Toyin's son not eat? So I've always been like that. I've always loved children. I've always loved everything that has to do with the welfare of children has always been at, the major part of my heart. So that was more like working in purpose.
So, Auntie Toyin, you shared how you started in the kitchen and then you expanded, you had to buy machines. How did you fund this?
Okay, so we've been largely self-funded, I must say. It's recently that we've started being open up to investors. We were a bootstrapped company, and yes, that's really how we've been funded. I would say that we've been quite disciplined with our finances, because we believe that if we can be disciplined with self-funding and starting out, how then would we be able to manage investor funding? So we're very much open to investor funding, and that's simply because of the proof of concept, what we've done with our own funds right from the beginning. So yes, family and friends, some bits of millions and thousands here and there at some point. But at the very beginning, I funded everything myself.
Wow. Good on you. You believed in the vision and put the money in.
Yeah. Indeed. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So what challenges what the top 3 challenges you faced along the way so far in starting out, or till date? Let me put it this way, top 3.
Top 3, 1, power, which is almost like general for every manufacturing. It's even worse now. It's crazy, because we need to use alternative sources. We need to generate our own power, and it feels like there's even no end in sight. So it's really crazy. It takes up a whole lot of funds, and also distribution. I would say distribution is also another challenge. At the beginning, I was somewhere in the middle so far. I was 6 years old now. So somewhere at the beginning and the middle, we used to have the issue around made in Nigeria products for children. Food, no, please. I'll rather pass. But one thing I'm grateful for is that what we said was all of the people who said no to made in Nigeria product are going to come back crawling to August Secrets. Because we've had a situation where we made a large supply. And then because of our packaging, the outlook, everything, the ingredients, this particular customer, a large customer, said that, okay, so after like a week, said, oh, I didn't realize it was made in Nigeria. Please count me out of it. And I was like, wow, we already took this as a sale. The team member who made that sale was already excited about the sale. And they were like, no, so we had that back and forth, and it was simply because it was made in Nigeria. I was saying mothers, fathers, caregivers already have belief in this product. It is good. It said, no. And then looking back today, this person retails Jadines.
Oh my goodness.
So we took that as a challenge to say that, as I say, some challenges could be challenges today, but could be a source of strength tomorrow. So yes, we can say that the tomorrow has started, because we then said, what are the things we need to do? If a third party or a channel, which is actually a distribution channel, is saying no to the product because it is made in Nigeria, not because the quality is good, let us focus on the consumers who have seen it, tried it, and then have testimonials on how good it is. Let's focus on our energy on them. And when they begin to make the demands, when these people see, then they begin to fall in love with it. We also have consumers too, which of course we really can't blame them. Everyone has a right, to control what goes into their children's tummies. And then we're saying that, look, we are a small growing brand, but we are the brand of tomorrow. We are the brand of tomorrow because we use locally sourced ingredients made in Nigeria here, package it here in Nigeria, and then sell. We have the traceability. You have an opportunity to walk into our factory to see what your child is eating. So yes, we are a proudly made in Nigerian brand, but then somewhere along the line at the beginning, like, no, made in Nigeria, no, I'm not interested. Even up till now, we actually do have people who say, no, you know what, you guys are doing a good job, but count me out of anything made in Nigeria. So we're saying, it may be a challenge. It used to be a challenge. We've surmounted that. And then going forward as well, it's our job to prove to doubters that August Secrets is one of those, and will also be one of those made in Nigerian brands that will actually wow everyone. So that's our job.
Have you seen a shift or an increase in demand now that it's very difficult to buy foreign exchange?
Yes, indeed. We had some customers had to confess to us to say that, okay, finally, let's give. So and then the good thing is, he also came laughing. He's a dad. He was like, okay, I used to say, what's this about? Food for children, package. No, please. Just let me just buy the one that we already know, or we're not sure of, maybe the quality, we're not sure of. And then, so yes. We now have our customers, retailers asking to say, okay, let's give this a second thought. And then we're saying, we've been waiting for you. We've been waiting for you to come. It's not like we're even trying to take advantage of you. We're just here because it's impossible for us to be made outside of Nigeria. We're made in Nigeria. Maybe tomorrow we can relocate and then start making it. But as of today, we are made in Nigeria. So we want to take advantage of what we have. We want to embrace the remaining good that we still have here. Our food is good. Africa has amazing superfoods that we literally step on every day, and then we go say, oh, only imported food. What if you have a child and that child is like mine, who doesn't want to eat any imported food? Are you going to allow the child starve? So that's where we stand, and I believe strongly that more is going to come. So yes, indeed, people are already coming to take. Yes, indeed.
How do you handle the power challenge? Do you have any strategies, or it's just
The only way that we have been doing so far is sort of using alternative power sources. So we're trying to see how we can power some of our equipment using renewable energy sources, looking at solar, but we really don't have control over this equipment, except of course we make demands. And so those are some of the things we're looking at. We've also been running shifts. So some shifts times are higher than the other, depending on how the supply is. It's really been tough. It's been a tough one. We just hope that, as I say, there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Do you feel like it's worth it?
I would say it's really worth it. Because to be honest, I can't take my eyes off the fact that you would buy, say, a kilo of sorghum at 1,000 naira and then spend 2,000 naira to ship it because of the cost of diesel. I feel like it still doesn't change the cost of that sorghum. Food is just unnecessarily expensive in the country because of the power situation and the cost of powering diesel, petrol, and the rest of that. So I believe that there's still some hope left. It might not be a lot, but I really do believe that Nigeria has a lot of amazing superfoods that we can turn around. A lot of people have shared so many ideas with me about using fonio. Fonio is there in Jos, wasting away, using fonio to make certain kinds of food. We have other kinds of even special dietary needs. We have parents with children with special needs looking for gluten-free foods, for instance. And then we're looking for quinoa. And then you need foreign exchange to get quinoa. And then we have gluten-free acha here in Nigeria. So I still believe that there's still a lot that can be done in the food space, especially now that we have a lot of dietary needs. There's a lot that needs to be done. I hear about parents importing certain kinds of bread for their children living with autism, and I'm like, okay, because your child has autism, you're then going to go bankrupt? But I really don't blame them, because there are no alternatives. There is no August secret to show them the creativity. So if that's the only fiber that we're left with, then so be it. If it's for us to go back to the kitchen, we'll go back to the kitchen and still make this food for these parents, because there is that need. Why would people be importing bread, a staple that a child is supposed to find easily accessible, and then you have to wait. Are you going to wait to clear the goods from the pot? It's really ridiculous when we have those superfoods around here, and then we don't even want to go into the rate of malnutrition. And then we're attending conferences, and then we're saying malnutrition is going to be solved with the foods that we have in our own soil, and then the foods in our own soil is really difficult for us to do them. So I just still sort of have that hope somehow. It's not a lot, but I have the hope. Maybe because I'm a foodie, I believe strongly. If not for anything, I believe in Nigerian food, and that we can use to at least turn around something. Yes, indeed, we can.
You work mainly with dry foods, though.
Yes, so we try to dry them for preservation. We can't afford to make purees now because it's might be crazier than we think. So yes, we dry. Drying is our major form of preservation.
do you dry it or you get them dried?
No, we dry them. We dry some, and then we also get them dried. We have a drying line where we dry them, we process.
So you get the raw foods, then dry them, and
Yes, dry, blend, roast. Yes, and then do all of that, and then package. Yes, we do that. Soak, ferment, dry, meal, and then package.
Do you have challenges sourcing?
So the major challenges are around the supply chain. So, and which is something that we're working on. really greatly. At the point when we started, we really didn't have the resources to test the species of the products being brought into us now. In this case, raw maize, raw sorghum, raw soya beans. But now we've started building that structure around it. So sourcing is not as challenging as getting the right quality, and ensuring that the standards are consistent. Sometimes I remember back then, even up till now, sometimes we need to explain to the customers why the corn we got last batch is more yellow than the one we got today. So, and we're not farmers yet. We're just trying to work with the farmers to ensure that we get something right. And all of that is dependent on funding.
It is dependent on funding. So what are your plans going forward for August Secrets?
Okay. August Secrets is the company of the future, like I said. So one of the major plans is for us to expand our product lines. I find that very interesting. So we're going to be starting from when the baby is being formed. We're not just going to wait till the child is 6 months. In the case like my son, we're going to start from conception up to, like we say, 99 years. So if you come to August Secrets, we treat you as a baby. So we're going to have something for you. We're going to have something for your health. We're going to have something that's a little different. So you don't like onions in your food. We're going to try to make it in such a way that you will love it. So those are the things that we're working on, and definitely also looking to expand. In terms of the market, we have a whole lot of demand that we're unable to meet. So we've started expanding across Africa right from time. So we're looking, pushing more to West Africa and then to East Africa. And then also majorly leveraging on technology to be able to do this. So we are going to be expanding our e-commerce platform, which we've already started doing. So majorly those are going to be it, expanding our capacity. We've started expanding our capacity now, so it's just for us to keep it going.
Sounds like a very what's the word? It's a broad vision. You want to be a company that provides a full line of nutritional products from infancy, from birth to death, really.
Yes, indeed.
For the whole lifetime.
Yes, indeed. Wow. We want to be at that point of the intersection between nutrition, health, and creativity. I'm not going to lie, the fun, because children, we learn from them. You make something really nice, it's healthy, but if it's not tasty, sorry. So it has to be tasty, it has to look good. So yes, that's what we want to do at August Secret. That's what we're doing.
And how are you run this business on your own? It's not a family business, is it?
It is a family business now, but I literally started on my own. I started on my own. So it is a family business.
Who in the family?
So I'm primarily driving it right now. So, and then there are other people who are co-owners that we're working together. My husband, we're working together. And I also work with another family member.
In the business or investing or both?
Both.
Okay.
So both from the investment point and also from the operational point. Yes, so we have family members who are joining. Some friends want to join now, so we're going to be flinging our doors open very soon. Very soon, yes, to accommodate more people. But then we also have an advisory board where they provide hand-holding support. They've been there and done that. They've seen the challenges similar to ours, and then they've been so supportive. So.
And your business, you have a business that's about 6 years old. So you're a relatively young business. You've gone past the 5-year mark, which is where many businesses give up, and you're very far from that. You're actually growing across 10 states also. Expanding to West Africa and really doing great. But you're doing this alongside a relatively young family as well. And I must say, the question I'm asking now, I'm not asking because you're a woman, because I think even though many times women bear the brunt of care, being caregivers, but still running a business as an entrepreneur when you have a young family as well can pose some challenges. Are you finding that there are challenges, and if there are, how are you combining these and dealing with the challenges?
Okay. So yes, indeed, there are challenges because even if the caregiving task is, even if the caregiving duty is the same, we're still going to be the one to carry the babies for 9 months and then still have to do some care compulsorily for a year. And that's if the pregnancy is not even a difficult one. So it's been challenging, but the good thing is I just see it as a part of life. We want to have children, and then so somehow it will affect our work as entrepreneurs, even careers for women. So in my own case, I've been so blessed with good people around me. My husband is an amazing guy. He's very doting, hands-on with the children. So I don't have to do everything alone. I don't have to do like homework alone. He's there. I don't have to attend school events alone. He's also there. And then also my mom has been so good. She's a brilliant woman. So add that to being being a really good grandma. So she can help with homework, for example. She can help with, so it's not just to wipe the baby's bum, but also to take care. So and also our management team has been good. We have really good people who have been with us from the inception. So that I would say really has helped. I'm not going to lie that I did everything alone. No, but these people have been so having a support system has really helped for what we've been able to achieve, because I have a 2-year-old. So, and yeah, it's as I say, check up if you have a mom of a toddler, check up on them if they're okay. So yes, she's the one that turns the house upside down. So even if you're working from home, she's going to come and knock and be screaming, "Mommy, mommy, mommy." And then you're working from home, you're in a meeting, and then people are hearing "mommy, mommy" at the background. So except now that we're trying to normalize everything. So yeah, I'm working from home and then you're hearing "mommy" at the background. It still doesn't change the fact that I'm a serious entrepreneur. I'm just a mom along the line. So yeah, it's tough, but we're doing it.
And at that age, there are a lot of unexpected, maybe like sick injuries, those sort of things. Do you find that happens?
That happens. That happens. So you want to dedicate some time. I mean, it's not even every time you have meetings, but you want to dedicate some time for work, or you want to travel, and then a child is sick. Sometimes the three of them are sick at the same time. Someone is having an allergy. I remember my second child, she's very prone to allergies. I think she has about 2 allergies. So we're having this, we can't have that, or we have to take her to the hospital. We have to do this, do that. And then, yes, it's what it is. Or school activities, you don't want one of your children lagging behind. You want to give them extra care, maybe lagging behind in a particular subject. You want to be there to ensure that, you hands-on. And sometimes the children, it's not every time that they need as we say, lesson teachers. Sometimes the truth is they just need your encouragement, So today I was there to cheer my son up. He won at the sack race. I had to be there. I was so excited.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And this is a child whom we're always teasing him. You don't even want to do anything. You don't want to do any basketball. You don't want to do anything. And then he just picked the sack and then started to hop. And then he's mentioned after that, exactly. And then after that, he mentioned that when I saw Daddy and I saw you were cheering me up, it just gave me that strength to move on. So, and I have a backlog of about 6 tasks to do today, but one of them I have to push them aside to go cheer this boy up because they're not going to be children forever. So it's really difficult if someone was trying to reach out to me today or trying to like, oh, Toyin, you've not sent that thing. I just have to be there for this boy. He's not going to be like this forever. Very soon they're going to go to uni, and then so this is a time where we can have the time for them. So just sharing him up alone, being there today took me at least half of the day. Yeah, so it is challenging, but then in a good way. Yes indeed. So that's one of the challenges.
You prioritize their care and the time for them. And I'm asking these questions specifically, trying to dive deep because there are many women who may feel overwhelmed, and rightfully so. And I think it's okay to feel that way because it's not easy to run a business and raise children. Sometimes, you may have a supportive spouse, sometimes you don't.
Yes.
And it's good for women who are successful to share the strategies that they use and even to let other women know that they're not super women as well. Sometimes they're overwhelmed, but at the same time, keep moving, because some people drop everything, and that's okay too. If they decide that's what they want to do or they need to do at that time. But if one has the desire, it's good to see others who have been able to power through, are powering through, and just have that encouragement. So that's why I dived deep into those questions, so that we look beyond, underneath the bonnet and see what's really going on, because you will come out looking radiant, bubbly, and it looks like everything is together. The business is working. You're very, very active on social media. You see the kids always looking great, and you're traveling here, feeding them, doing so many things. And do you ever feel overwhelmed? And how do you get all this to work?
I really do feel overwhelmed. Yes, sometimes, but what I've done is I've created it as a structure. I always say that my house is just like an office. That's one of the ways I'm able to maintain my sanity. So, and also, I think I'd like to say this, to be honest, some of the things that I can get away with now, I could not some years ago. So I believe strongly in timing and seasons. If we have younger kids who struggle with nanny issues because you need domestic staff to help and all of that. So what I've done, or what I did at those times, is to create a structure. So to ensure that I focus on the big things and let go of the small things. So the small things such as, maybe you don't, social life. I wouldn't say social life is a small thing really, but I can't be everywhere. I have to say no to some things, so that's one. Then two is, even though domestic staff, how the home is run is very critical. For example, I used to cook, make the egusi soup and then toil in the kitchen. I love cooking, but then I just realized that it takes a whole lot of my time. So, and because I'm a perfectionist, to be honest. Like if you make soup for me, I'm the kind of person who say, oh no, there's a flavor I'm looking for, and then everybody will like, which flavor? Which flavor are you looking for? Yes, because I'm a foodie. I've always wanted to be a chef. Yes, so yes, I'm very finicky with food. So but I had to realize that, look, this is not sustainable at this time. The best I can do. So what I then do is, the big things that I focus on is making memories with my children. I realized that my real desire is actually to make memories with my children in the kitchen and all that. Is something that I really dreamt of, and it's something I believe is essential. So what I then do is I have people do the major cooking while I just do the dainty cooking. So the mom that makes shepherd's pie, and then I'll make chicken wrap and then ask you to choose. So those are quite easy for me to do. I already have my wrap. I just, do, and then I don't have to do the cleaning, prepping, all of those things. So I have created a structure around that, and also created a structure around even cleaning and managing the house. So I train my domestic staff. I have an entire end-to-end training for the domestic staff on how to manage the house, time management and everything. So you're not just sitting down and watching TV, and it's when I'm coming back by 6 that you're running to. No, you're going to have a timetable every day of how you do your work, and then with the cameras around, or with video calls. So what are you doing now? This is what you're doing. We already have an agreement on what you're doing today. The honest truth is, when I started this structure, when I started having this strict structure, some of them couldn't stay. So then it's fine. I'm like, okay, you are the exact person I can't work with. I can only work with domestic staff who also are ready to learn and who are ready to take their job as like a corporate job. So if you can do that, then we can work together. So it has really helped me. So this is we have nap time, we have resting time. So yeah, even the domestic staff also, they have break time. They have a time when they can take calls. You can even sleep, you can take a nap, you can relax. And then you also have a closing time. So even if you live with us, when we used to have people who live with us, you have a closing time. So you close at 8. So if you want to close at 8, dinner has to be ready before 8. We have to eat dinner and then you tidy up before 8. So how do you manage your time? If you're there watching movies because I'm not around, you're not going to be able to close at 8. You'll be closing at 11. Then you wake up late and then scatter our house. No, we don't want that. So we ensure that those structures are there. So everything looks easy, but the truth is, it was a structure that I used to help myself. And then we have some days when we don't do any cooking. We just eat out, so those are the ways in which I've sort of been able to create a structure so that I will not then I focus on creating memories. So we go out a lot, we go out to the park, birthday parties, we're there, we like to enjoy. And then sometimes my husband and I will say, okay, kids, you have to go to grandma because it's now mommy and daddy time. And then we just escape and go to straighten our heads up and come back. Yes, so those are like my strategies of really surviving. Yes.
For many years, while my children were growing up, my husband and I had a date night every Friday. Every Friday. So we would just go watch a movie. Sometimes go to a restaurant or go to like a place that has live music and hang out. But most of the times it was just watch a movie. And my kids recognize that this Friday night, mommy and daddy are having date night. So yeah, I think it's important to make that time.
Well, my kids accuse me and say, you guys just leave your children. Oh. Yes. Kids of nowadays, they can say anything. Yes. You guys just leave your children. I'm like, yes, we leave our children. So, yes. So, yeah, as long as you guys are okay, we also need to be okay. We also need that sanity. Otherwise, it's crazy.
So, Toyin, if you were to go back, let me say, 10 years, what would you advise a young Toyin, 3 things a young Toyin regarding business, career, life path?
Number 1, 10 years ago, that was 2017, 13. Okay. First is go to a business school. Go to a business school and get a certification, whatever it is. Business. Invest in it. Don't wait until you need to start a business. Because as of 2013, I was really like looking into my career, which wasn't bad, but if I had known that this was going to be my path, I would have gone to business school as at the time. Number 2 would be to learn to leverage on relationships, build relationships, build a richer network. This is something that I just started doing like 4 years ago, and I'm reaping the benefits. So I wish I had done it earlier. Yes, I wish I'd done it earlier. The job I was doing before setting out into full-time entrepreneurship gave me an opportunity to have a richer network, but I was always just keeping to myself. I don't want to disturb people. But now I open my mouth and ask, push, into places, and it's not even like even pushing. You just have the door. When you ask, the door will be open to you. The number 3 would be think bigger. Think bigger, think bigger. Stop thinking small. Whatever it is that you want to do, just make it bigger. Just 10x it, 10x it. Whatever it is that you're doing, 10x it. I started August Secrets with just that, what, let's just do something small. I don't want stress. Yes. So if I had probably had that advice, if I had taken that advice, I would probably have set out bigger than this. But then it's not too late. There are things that I've started doing, but I just wish I did them earlier.
Which is why we ask, so that our viewers can ride on that advice and start those things earlier. I'm really excited about the story that you've shared and the systems that you're working both in the office and at home, both, because you need, each one supports or balances the other so that you can have a total and complete life where it's a success all around. The success that you've achieved with August Secrets is phenomenal. And the fact that you're able to give so many people in terms of how you share joy on social media channels, letting people know what you're doing, family, just family things, and giving out encouragement to many women who are running families. And we're really looking forward to what August Secrets has to hold.
Indeed. I'm excited as well. And thank you for noticing.
Oh, yeah. It's really valuable content, and it shows that you want to share, to impact, and to give. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for joining us for another edition of Seed Diaries, where we tell authentic stories of entrepreneurs who have walked the path. Like, share, subscribe. We look forward to seeing you at another episode. Thank you.